Welcome to Jean and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we're doing the crossword for Saturday, August 17th, 2024. So, did you do the crossword?
I did.
And was it any better than Thursday or Friday?
Oh, about the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. You know, I said last night that I was not going to do it at night.
Right.
So I did it after I ate breakfast this morning.
Fully fortified, I take it?
Yes.
Uh-huh, good.
And I still had my coffee.
Good. Ooh.
And
Bring out the heavy artillery.
you bet. And it was interesting. I was able to get the top half pretty much filled in right away.
Really? Including the top northeast? The northeast corner?
I had a little trouble with that.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, it wasn't totally filled in.
Mm-hmm.
But usually on Saturday, I don't get anything filled in until about the middle.
Right.
You know, I just can't think of anything. But I was able to think of all kinds of things for answers for these clues.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of credit that with a good night's sleep. So,
All right.
So anyway, I did get stuck in the lower right corner. I just couldn't figure out what was going on down there.
Shoot.
But I pretty much got everything else.
Well, that's interesting because I just ran into a brick wall as you can imagine, as I was sort of hinting there, in the Northeast. Everything that I don't know, Brandon Copy managed to put into one area, like potatoes in Indian cuisine. I'm like, I should know this. All I could come up with for a long, long time was Dali, which is actually a painter, not really.
DAHL, I think. Isn't that an Indian word? Yeah.
I don't know, but anyways, the correct answer was ALOO.
Yes.
However that's pronounced, and 15 across blank agua para chocolate. Hit 1992 foreign language film. I'm like, I'll never figure that out. And then we had 10 down, like Medina, Saudi Arabia, vis-a-vis Medina, Ohio. And I was going for like a homonym, which probably isn't correct, and it didn't fit. Mm-hmm. The answer turned out to be holier.
That's right.
I really hope they run these by a couple of lawyers before they say things like that, because I bet there are a bunch of really religious people in Medina, Ohio, who are ticked off at this point.
Yes, but isn't Medina, that's one of the sites, like pilgrimage sites for Muslims.
Well, yeah, but I mean, probably people go to Medina, Ohio there's probably a big church there. I don't know. It's not the same. But I still think that was sort of, a little bit edgy there. Speaking of edgy, 20 across. Reason one might read a speed hump sign and laugh. Dirty mind. Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, fine. I mean, there's a picture of Brandon Copy in X-Word Info on one of their pages, and he's got a couple of kids with him, so clearly that was a dad joke.
I guess.
But anyway, so and finally, did you get this 15 down? Scouting gatherings, camporees.
Camporees, yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Well, I was thinking maybe it's campathon, but then I'm like, I think it's camporee, like jamboree.
So that's what I went for. I went for jamboree for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And
well, I kind of figured out 15 across was going to be como.
Oh.
Because the rest of that's Spanish. And,
right.
And once I had the C from camporee, then what would it be? Como agua para chocolate.
I'm not sure how I managed to get that. Somehow, I think I got ALOO at some point. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that was a major struggle for me.
Well, 11 down, our favorite Egyptian god, right?
Amonra. The god of tricky spelling.
That's right, because I put in Amenra.
Sure.
And that was my final thing I had to figure out.
And then you had Elio instead of ALOO.
That's right. And I'm like, well, it must be Monra. But yes, the man with a million spellings of his name.
Yep. Hard to believe because he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters in them.
I know.
In that same general area, we had 25 across. 25 across being some skin-tight clothing. Shapers.
Yes.
Never heard of that.
Well, what did I put? Spandex. I put spandex.
Oh,
for
nice.
that. But shapers. I mean, those are just like foundation garments that pull in your waist and your tummy.
You mean like a girdle?
Like a girdle, yeah, essentially. But they don't call them that anymore.
They call them shapers?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess
Spanx. Spanx is probably the most famous shaper, and Kim Kardashian has some shapers out, but I can't think what she calls hers.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, shapers.
Yeah, well, you can tell that the media folks were like, no, you can't call it girdle. You got to call it something that will appeal. Shapers.
Right.
Lots of good clues everywhere in the grid. One across. Ireland's second best-selling musical act after U2. It was 4 letters long. I went for Enya.
Me too.
And that was correct.
That's right.
I found that, the parts of the crossword I found pretty straightforward.
But 3 down, coming off of that, I thought was a funny clue. Stretcher bearers, yoga mat.
Yes, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I actually laughed out loud at that. 14 across, one might clean up lots of toys. Dog groomer.
Right. I knew it had to do something with dog, because it's just like, oh, this is not going to be like, a kid picking up toys or something. This is about dogs.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I had enough letters. I was going between dog. I was first thinking it was dog breeder, but then 4 down, frustrated cry would have been arb as opposed to arg.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that area was pretty straightforward. Although I didn't, in the middle, we had something for 5 across. Forsythia for 1. Forsythia for 1, and that's a shrub.
That's right.
I think we've seen that before. I don't think it registered when I saw it before. It did not register when I saw it now. Nope. Forsythia, actually, it would help if I spelled it correctly. Forsythia.
Just like it sounds.
Oh, that's not helping either.
It's Forsythia.
Sythia. And it's never shown up.
No
So
result.
maybe it's shown up as a...
F-O-R.
well, no, that's it. You see, it's looking for it as an answer. It may have shown up as a clue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've
never seen it in the crossword, but...
Oh, really?
But I know Forsythia. We used to have a Forsythia bush outside
Did we?
our house when I was growing up.
Oh, I thought it was like here before the big floods.
Oh, no. Back when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
They had pretty yellow flowers in the spring.
Okay. Let's see. We had, 38 down I found very difficult. It was to do with, I gather, athletics. 38 down, 11 in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be snake eyes.
No, that's ones.
Well, but if you have 2 ones, that's 11.
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, I thought Las Vegas, 11. It turned out to be the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. I always
Who are-
forget that they moved. There's their football team. NFL. They used to be in Oakland.
Oh.
Now they're in Las Vegas.
And they still call them the Raiders?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They didn't go for, like, the Las Vegas roulette wheel?
Mm-hmm. I heard that 11 they call Yo-11 in the casinos, so that people don't think they said 7, because 7 and 11 are very near, so they call it Yo-11.
Yo-11.
Yeah.
I'll remember that the next...
Y-O-11.
I'll remember that the next, actually, the first time I'm in a casino. Next to that, they had 36 down, low-cost lager from Anheuser-Busch familiarly, and it was Natty Ice.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They just had that in categories. They had Natty. They had like these different, and this is one of the categories I didn't get. Listeners, Categories is another great game that the New York Times puts out. It's in the New York Times app right next to the crossword. And they had
It's called Connections, isn't it?
What did I call it?
Categories.
I'm sorry, Connections.
Yeah.
Let's see, they had like an ale and a beer or something like that. And then they had actually it was slang names, so they had like Bud, and then they had Natty, and I didn't realize that Natty, I was was a type of drink. I thought it was when you were
low-cost lager from Anheuser-Busch, familiarly.
Right.
What's it really called, I wonder?
Natural ice? Natty is maybe short for natural?
Could be.
I
don't know. I didn't get, I had trouble with that corner. I did not get that.
Mm-hmm. 31 across was good. Let's see. Non-stop flight? Stairmaster.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good clue. And that crossed with another great one, 27 down. Fashions out of whatever's lying around. MacGyver.
Yes. Had to figure out how to spell that, but it all worked out.
Oh, and I also loved 45 across. You, all of you, solvers.
Yes. Yeah, that was brilliant. Let's see here. 37 across was really loses one's cool. I had goes and NU, and so I went for goes nutsoid.
Oh.
And because I thought, that sounds, if you're really mad, you just went nutsoid. Don't know if that's really a word. No. Turns out it was nuclear.
That's right.
Nuclear. And I figured I had a problem because 34 down, Stanley of Julie and Julia, it was TU something CI, and I had, with goes nutsoid, I had Tucci, TUTCI, and I thought, that cannot be right.
That's right.
So, let's see.
It was Tucci.
It was
TUCCI.
TUCCI, yes, thank you. 51 across, that was great. Hold, please. I need a hug.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was just fine.
Yeah, I like that one.
And 58 across, I actually filled this out, and it was correct. 56 across, a deal's a deal. No backsies.
Oh, uh-huh.
I had several of the letters. I think I had no back.
Yeah,
and it was
I did too. And I was like, well, no back out. Or
yep, I was thinking
no
about
backings, but it was no backsies.
But something led me to, I don't know why, but 54 down in that corner, something that's good to do a 180 on, an LSAT.
Right.
That was tricky.
That was a great clue, though.
Yes, yes, it was. And I got it, I think, because I had to guess for 63 across, Randall's elder daughter on This Is Us. I had it ending in ESS, so I thought, well, it's Bess or it's Tess. Mm-hmm. I hope there's no other name like that. And anyways, it turned out to be Tess. And so I had sat, and then I got LSAT. Because I did not know, and I was really annoyed at myself, 53 across, River through Glasgow, Clyde.
Right.
And after I got that, I'm like, oh yeah, the River Clyde sounds right. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't figure out why. We had a frustrated cry at 4 down, that was ARGH, and we also had a frustrated cry at 49 down, that was ACK.
That's right.
And I was frustrated in many places as I was working on this, but...
I thought it was interesting, 46 down. In Buffalo, it's a faux pas to order this with buffalo wings. Ranch.
Yes.
Wonder why in Buffalo... it's bad to order it with ranch.
I presume they're talking about the dressing and not like the real estate.
No.
It's like, I'll have a ranch, please. 40 acres?
Wings, wings are, you can get them with barbecue sauce or ranch or Sriracha or, salsa. They have various dips you can get wings with. But, boys, I just wonder, well, what is it about in Buffalo they don't like ranch?
Well, maybe buffalo wings in Buffalo means something like an award you get from the city. Here are your buffalo wings. I'll have ranch with that. Uh-huh. Maybe it has a completely different interpretation.
It says to order this with buffalo wings.
Well, this is the Saturday crossword. I'm not sure.
Well, I figured out, it was ranch because it's like, well, what do you order with buffalo? Barbecue sauce, ranch, dressing, they're just... I was just thinking, well, it must be ranch.
Maybe the biggest employer in Buffalo is a barbecue sauce manufacturer.
Maybe.
And so they don't want to be giving money to the ranch people.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe buffalo wings originated in Buffalo. That's why they're called buffalo wings, and they were meant to be served with a certain buffalo sauce. So if you ask for ranch, they're offended.
Sounds plausible to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
7 down, one named poet from the 13th century, Rumi, R-U-M-I, or possibly Rumi. And then 9 down, seabed. I went for coral, but because I had an R in the middle and it was 5 letters long, but it was birth.
Birth, yes, like in a ship.
Yeah.
There was another slang term, 21 down. Get me, ya feel.
Yeah.
Ya feel.
Yeah.
Goes right along there with wanna and aw. Hell, I think that was one we had yesterday.
Keep track of all these. We'll put them on a T-shirt.
We should just keep track of all of them and put all of them in the same crossword. It would just drive people crazy. There'd be like absolutely no real words. It would just be like wanna and ya feel.
We could call it slangorama. All right. Well, I think that is it for the crossword. But we have 2 things. First, we have a bit of listener mail. And this is from Randall. And it's technique for challenging puzzles. Hi, guys. Yes, I agree that both the Thursday and Friday puzzles were a challenge this week. I persevered, though, and did get them successfully. Well done.
Successfully completed.
And get them successfully completed. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back if you haven't done that already. My process is as follows. I look at the puzzle and realize that I know virtually none of the answers except maybe a couple here and there. I fill those in. I then leave the puzzle and return later on. Good idea. I look at the clues again and realize, oh, of course, why didn't I get that the first time round? I knew that. Additional letters gradually appear. Even the appearance of one single letter can make a difference in getting an answer.
That's very true.
Yeah, very true. Sometimes you just need that little foothold. This process repeats itself over and over, usually on Friday and Saturday, sometimes for a whole day or even 2, and I allow myself whatever time is needed to get the puzzle completed. I think your streak doesn't die, right? If you don't do it, as long as you don't do another one before that, another one that's sort of newer in the cycle. My point is that it's amazing how the brain does some sort of reset when it walks away from a puzzle. Answers often magically then come to mind. I'm convinced these would not have materialized had I continued to just endlessly sit there fussing and fuming over a dead-end clue with an elusive answer. So that's my technique on difficult days, and for me it works. I'm sure many others do the same. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, although I'll sit for a very long time before I finally give up. I'm convinced, though, that neurons are, as if I recall my biology class, are sitting there in just sort of like this pool. And as they slosh around, sometimes neurons that weren't touching run into one another. You probably don't want me as a neurologist. But anyways.
I've never tried that tactic. I think maybe next weekend I have to give it a go.
I do that all the time. Basically, it's giving up, but not really.
But you don't, walk away from it. You probably just change screens.
Oh, no. I will stand up. And then I'll pick it up maybe on a different device, and I'll look at it and think, oh, it's that. I mean, I have the same issue with the spelling bee. I'll look at the spelling bee, and it's just like, I'm out of words. I relaunch the spelling bee, and instantly there's a word that I hadn't thought of before. It's just like, where did that come from? Wow. And that's Randall's point here. And let's see. So he continues. Thanks for your indefatigable crossword insights and daily laughs, Randall. You are welcome, Randall. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you for that. Really, really appreciate those insights there. And listeners, when you're stuck, stop. Take a break. Give your brain a little bit of time to relax. Try things in the morning. Try things with more caffeine, with less caffeine, whatever seems to work. And now, one last thing before we wrap it up. It's Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's time for the Jam Katwa, the Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award. And this week, we have, as usual, gone back through the crosswords of the week. And this week we picked... Today. Because today just had some exceptionally good clues.
Yep.
It was a tough crossword. It really made you work for a living. But the clues were just spectacular. Just listen to the podcast again to find out what those were. This is Brandon Copy's 17th. He mainly does Wednesdays, but he's done a couple of Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. And the only day he has not done is a Tuesday, but I bet he's working on it. And so really, really quality crossword here.
Yep.
All right, that is it for today. Actually, no. We have one more bit of listener mail.
Oh,
We do. And it's from our You've Got Fan Mail site.
Ooh.
And this is from someone, and as usual, we don't know who the person is. It just says, I enjoy the podcast. Keep up the good work.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's from someone in Pompano Beach, Florida. Or that could just be, pardon me?
Pompano.
Pompano? It's from someone in an unpronounceable beach, Florida. Pompano. Pompano?
I believe so.
Okay. Do they sell like a lot of pumpernickel in Pompano?
Maybe you could write back and say, "Oh, that's how you say it."
Yes. For the person who just sent us fan mail, could you send us another telling us how to pronounce it?
So wherever you are from, we are happy to have you as one of our listeners.
Yes, and glad to know that you're enjoying it. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is it today. So if you want to do what either Randall did or the person from Pompano Beach did, you can drop us a line either by clicking on the link in the show notes or by going to your email and sending it to crosswordpodcast@icloud.com. That is it for today. We'll be back again with our cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.